Next up, state senator breathing heavy and touching himself, arrested for indecent exposure in video gaming room of cigarette and beer shop. Very classy. I blame prostitution myself. Where was his handler? Since when, as a senator, ever had to pump his own well water? Politicians and hookers go together like sugar and grits. You leave them to their own vices, you leave them to their own devices, and this is what happens. A horn dog in a public establishment giving himself the old Appalachian slow dance. West Virginia Senator Mike Maroney, 56, has been arrested after police say he was caught breathing heavy while committing an overt act of sexual gratification. That means he was beating his meat inside the video lottery room of Gumby Cigarette and Beer World in Glendale. The incident occurred during the afternoon of August 4th, although Maroney was not arrested until Tuesday, according to a criminal complaint obtained by Law&Crime on Thursday. Police said when they arrived at Gumby's, they spoke to two female staff on duty who stated that Maroney was in the back room on a gaming machine, but that he had come out to the ATM machine and was breathing heavy and was touching himself. Unsure as to what was going on, they started to observe him on the CCTV. In doing so, they witnessed him masturbating. The complaint stated, yeah, smart move. You don't want to get too close to him. Go to the surveillance. Sounds like he was about to give himself a heart attack. Ragdolling his genitals. He didn't care who was watching. The only way to stop him would have been to spritz cold water on his nose like he was a house cat misbehaving. At 56 years old, you've had 40 some odd years at least to learn the etiquette and the nuances to whacking off. You never unsheath your sword in public, and here he goes throwing out his training in one fell splooge. Prosecutors say that when one of the women called police at her supervisor's behest, she told the dispatcher Maroney was doing it right now in real time. What if the dispatcher told her don't make eye contact with him no matter what? Officers said when they approached Maroney and found him in front of one of the poker machines and asked what he was doing. You know what he's doing. Maroney stated that he was playing the machine. That was an honest answer, honestly. I advised him that the attendants had witnessed him masturbating. He got defensive and advised he hadn't. No, I didn't. And advised him they have cameras all over and had seen him on camera. He still denied his actions and stated he'd just leave. He asked if he could finish his current game. I think we're done here, sir. He finished what he was doing and left the establishment. A police affidavit underlying the criminal complaint states police noted that the real area Maroney was found in was not a secure area. I kind of figured that because they sell mostly beer and cigarettes. So the assumption is if you're old enough to buy beer and cigarettes, then you should be old enough to gamble. It makes sense, meaning anyone wanting to play the machines could have walked in to do so. Maroney was followed out of the lobby after he left. Staff showed police video. How many times did they play that back? Do you have any idea how many influential people this man has been in a room with? How many hands he's shaken immediately after getting the butter from the duck? Hell, he's shaking the president's hand. I see nothing but fist bumps in his future as a politician. There were numerous times where he would put his hands in his pants and begin to masturbate at approximately 1:04 p.m. This is early in the afternoon in a public establishment. It was very evident that Mr. Maroney was in the act of masturbating. The affidavit notes West Virginia indecent exposure laws prohibit engaging in any overt act of sexual gratification. Both of the staffers at Gumby's were visibly shaken and upset by what they had witnessed. The report continued. Maroney's charges were brought by Marshall County Prosecutor Joe Canestraro. This is not the Republican legislator's first time finding himself on the wrong side of the law. Gee, what a shock. As Law&Crime previously reported, he was charged in August 2019 with seeking the services of a sex worker. See, I told you it was a prostitute's fault. If a prostitute was there in this tough spot, we wouldn't be having this discussion. Those charges were eventually dropped due to a lack of evidence after a 19-month probe, according to the Intelligencer. Maroney lashed out after charges were dropped, calling the case against him politically motivated. For these latest charges, which include indecent exposure and disorderly conduct, Maroney was briefly detained at the Northern Regional Correctional Facility and Jail at Moundsville, West Virginia. He was released on a $3,500 personal recognizance bond, according to West Virginia Metro News. It is unclear when he will appear in court next. I don't know when his court date is, but I'm pretty sure they'll tell him to wear rubber gloves. So what, was he gun shy after getting caught looking for that prostitute the first time and decided to take matters into his own hands. You can't live your life like that. You see what happens? You terrified these two women. They thought you were having a stroke, but you were over there pulling on your own slot machine handle. In a statement released on August 14th, West Virginia Senate President Craig Blair said he was deeply concerned for Maroney, calling him our friend and colleague, in order to give him appropriate time to dedicate to his personal issues. Blair also announced that he was stripping Maroney of his role as chairman of West Virginia's Senate Committee on Health and Human Resources. Damn! Blair said Maroney was relieved. That's a very funny word to use in this context, of all other committee responsibilities as well. And he's not the only politician to do something untoward like this, like sending dick pics or something else weird. He's just the newest one. It's not right. It's very wrong, but this too will pass. While the charges are still under investigation, if true, this allegation is obviously not up to the standard of what we expect from our elected leaders in the state Senate of West Virginia, Blair said. There you have it, folks. Mike Maroney, Senator Mike Maroney. The next time you sit out a video slot, you better have your Lysol wipes handy.